your journey. And so we're saying, as you embark on that journey, please take your time and realize that you're not the only one sharing that road. Speaking about your journey this wonderful morning, I understand that things are still looking very, very good. And so as you move along, think of how you can be of benefit to other road users. And if that sounds nice, that puts us in a position where we can zoom our lenses on the maritime sector to look at the good, the bad, and the ugly sides of this industry. Welcome to Maritime Today, your twice weekly adventure through the ever busy world of this industry, often referred to as the gold mine of the Nigerian economy. Maritime Today brings you latest gist in the maritime world, connects you with policy statements from regulators, features thoughts and ideas of stakeholders with a view to advancing the cause of development of the sector. The program is powered by the Nigerian Shippers Council, echoed by your station of attraction and passion, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, and it's always nice to have your company at this time. My name is Victor Oteri. All right, then. So on the program this morning, we'll be dissecting transportation. And we're looking at its relevance at very crucial times like this. Sometimes we use, perhaps we interchangeably use logistics and transportation in a way that sometimes we cannot just, decipher the differences. So today, we'll be having a holistic view of what transport should be looking like, and what are the prospects of we harnessing the potentials of transportation at very crucial times like this. What can transportation bring to the table in terms of showing up our revenues, and can we really say logistics and transportation can still become the mainstay of Nigeria's economy if we decide to invest in it? We'll be speaking with somebody we refer to as a giant in this industry. All right, it's a professor of transportation. We'll be connecting with him during the course of the program to have his views on how we can really show up transportation and logistics in Nigeria. There'll be latest news as well from the maritime front, plus loads and loads of interaction and traffic update. All these and many more will be part of the menu if you can keep us company from now through 11 o'clock. But of course, first off, let's have a brief break and have a word from our partners. And when we return, we'll be sailing on the waters of discovery this wonderful morning.
Nigerian Shippers Council, they to serve you well. No matter the problem, we go solve them for you.
Yes, so the Nigerian Shippers Council, they feel in a parole now for every level. And as on our goods, they move from port A, go enter port B with a measure within on a needle. For the Nigerian Shippers Council, we don't sharp proper to fit hear you wella, work with you wella, and help you fit serve your customers them better, no matter where them day. As we country port economic regulator, the Nigerian Shippers Council get every now to fit make government consider the problem when shippers them they face. Visit we office for number 4 or to buy your daily show your daily. Papa, email us for nsc@shipperscouncil.gov.ng. We website now www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng. Allow us on top 0818-888-8895 or 0703-584-6468. Nigerian Shippers Council with a meeting now for the port of Nanir.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Maritime Today is the program, and of course we are very much set for the conversation. Quickly, let's take you through the roads and the last update from the Masha Aguda end, which is Surulere. We can tell you vehicular movement from Bode Thomas connecting in and out of Babs Anima Shaun down to Donyu, really looking pretty good. Eric Moore to Abebe Village, proceeding through Igomu Bridge, is also looking very good at the moment. Census Olatunde Onimole down to areas like Ayetoro and Nepa Junction, proceeding fully well with the traffic light functioning effectively at that location. Brown Road to Pako Aguda, as well as Ijesha Market, is also looking good. And Sele Okota Link Bridge very, very good to go as we speak. All right, then. So from our live cameras, we can tell you areas like Yanowuru, Ogudu are still looking pretty good to go. And if you're making that journey out towards Lagos, is also looking good as well. From the Mile 2 end, earlier on we reported an accident. Okay, it's a breakdown really. Car wash inwards Suru Alaba. Yes, it's a breakdown. And what we can see there, it's a loaded 40-feet container carrying truck with Boris problem. What's the latest with that, by the way? Control room and traffic managers within that location, you can keep me posted on what the latest is. All right, we'll be serving you more helpings as they come in. Right now, let's focus the conversation on maritime today. And a lot has happened in the past 7 days. But to have the best of gists as it relates to latest news in the maritime world, Mike James is here to run us through a summary of the latest maritime news.
All right, this is the Maritime News. The Managing Director of Nigerian Ports Authority, NPA, Mohammed Bello Koko, has said that the authority will strive to make Nigerian ports the leading ports in Africa. He said this on Thursday during NPA Day at the ongoing Enugu International Trade Fair. We will strive to be the leading port in Africa, a dream we can all realize with collective commitment of trade development partners to which Enugu Chamber of Commerce belongs. The Nigerian maritime industry is a prime economic driver, bearing in mind that 85% by volume of economic activities are delivered through the port worldwide. Maritime transport remains the gateway to the global marketplace. Ports are catalysts for economic development as they enable trade and support supply chain. End of quote. And still in the news, the Nigerian Navy ship Soro NNS says it has arrested 2 persons and seized 1 tank truck over alleged crude oil theft in Bayelsa. The commander, Commodore Sunday Leko, made this disclosure while parading the suspect at NNS Soro base on Thursday. He said that a Mazda vehicle loaded with 1,300 liters of illegally refined products was also arrested in the process. Lagos said that the breakthrough followed credible intelligence from the public concerning the stealing and transportation of stolen and illegally refined products in the area. He said, and I quote, "Our personnel who were dispatched to the area apprehended this truck. On sighting us, the driver of the truck ran away but left the keys behind. So we were able to convey the truck to our base for further investigation and other necessary actions." End of quote. The commander further stated that while still on patrol, naval personnel arrested a Mazda 323 vehicle carrying 1,300 liters of illegally refined products. And finally, in the news, the International Maritime Bureau, IMB, has expressed worry of an increase in maritime piracy off the coast of Somalia in the first quarter of 2024. The first 3 months of 2024 saw a rise in incidents of piracy and armed robbery against ships globally, with 33 incidents recorded compared to 27 during the same period in 2023. Among the reported incidents, pirates boarded 24 vessels, attempted attacks on 6, hijacked 2, and fired upon 1. Violence towards crew members is also escalating, with 35 taken hostage, 9 kidnapped, and 1 threatened. The report highlights a worrying trend in Somali pirate activity, with 2 reported hijackings, and pirates demonstrated an increased ability to target vessels at greater distances from the Somali waters. And that was the Maritime News. Over to Victor Terry for the rest of the show.
Nigerian shippers cancel day to serve you well. No matter the problem, we go solve them for you.
Yes, so the Nigerian Shippers Council, they feel in a parole now for every level. And as soon as goods, they move from A, go enter Port B with a measure within on a need. For the Nigerian Shippers Council, we don't sharp proper to fit hear you wella, work with you wella, and help you fit serve your customers them better, no matter where them day. As we country port economic regulator, the Nigerian Shippers Council get every now to fit make government consider the problem when shippers them they face. Visit we office for number 4 or to buy your daily show your daily. Papa, email us for nsc@ship shipperscouncil.gov.ng. We website now www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng. Allow us on top 0818-888-8895 or 0703-584-6468. Nigerian Shippers Council with the meeting now for the port of Nanid.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Maritime Today is the program, and this morning on the program, dissecting the framework for effective logistics and transportation in Nigeria. Who else is better suited to take us through this excursion other than someone who stands very, very tall in the transportation sector? He is an academic of great repute, and he's one who is always talking transportation from time to time. Professor Samuel Gbadebo Odeomi is Dean, School of Transport and Logistics at the Lagos State University, LASU. Prof, it's nice to have you on the program. Good morning.
Thank you. It's nice to be here. But let me say that after one masquerade dances in the university, it goes on to sit down and allow other masquerade to dance. I'll step down as the dean, but I'm still effectively on ground.
Okay.
So it's Professor Charles Aseneme that is the dean of transport now.
Okay.
I'm a grand dean now. I haven't been there for about 8-9 years.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, then. Thank you so much for that correction, Prof. But it was Chris Gethard that once said, public transportation is like a magnifying glass that shows you civilization up close and personal. And from your many years of specializing in this sector, Prof, are we really treating transportation as a key driver of the nation's economy?
Yeah, transportation is the driver. But the question is, how are we treating the driver? What health is that particular driver? For example, if somebody is driving you, you employ a driver, is driving your vehicle, how healthy is he? Is he having some good eyesight? Can he take you far? Is he a drunkard? Is he malnourished? Is it mentally unstable? So that's the parallel. In real life, we are yet to recognize transportation as a key provider and a key facilitator. Except, let me mention this, Lagos State.
Okay.
That is why, if you look at the theme agenda of the governor, the first T is transportation and traffic management.
Right.
That, to me, is an indication of somebody who recognizes transportation. I've said it anywhere I go. Because recognition is the first step in... because if you know, Jesus asked his disciples, who am I? You know, who am I? They said, some said you are this, some said you are that. But he said, what do you people think you mean? I am. Until somebody so until a ruler recognizes the role of transportation in facilitating every aspect of the economy, that economy is not going to go anywhere. Please permit me to illustrate.
Okay.
The only thing that was shut down during COVID was transportation. And it was not totally shut down. It was just, look, don't go out this way, but we still have movement in foods, movement to the hospital, movement to some. So imagine when life stops, when there is no transportation at all, life freezes. So, but because we always assume that it is there, that's why we don't know how much, because we define transportation as the life stream, the vein, the artery,
right,
through which all life activities, socio-economic, passes through. Without it, there's no life.
Which is very, very correct, Prof. So I'm going to come in here.
Yeah.
So if we now...
So that is, we are yet to recognize it at that level.
Right. And if I just do some kind of assessment this morning, peeping through the window of assessment to ascertain where we are and how far we have come, Prof, how would you describe it across Nigeria today?
Oh, we are wobbling and fumbling in the right direction. I mean, I will take it at two levels.
Okay.
At the national and at the state, where and Lagos for us, those of us in transport, Lagos is the laboratory of all the modes of transportation problem. That's why I normally say I don't need to take my students to anywhere in the world. All the problem of transportation mode, rail, road, water, pipeline, air, everything, except that we have not done the cable. So Lagos is it. So at the national level, I've been involved in the transportation policy formulation now for almost 15 years.
Okay.
It's an endless journey. We finished the drafting. There is some issues of politics and other that. So the problem are some issues of policy, infrastructure, knowledge, and institutional. So the policy is that we have not been able to complete a draft policy for the last 15 to 20 years.
Okay.
In fact, it could be more.
Right.
But for Lagos, Lagos was able to complete their own, but they are yet to claim it. And I had a situation where I had to tell the governor, please proclaim, because you can't be winking in the dark. A policy, transportation policy is not something you formulate and you keep under your bushel, under the drawer. All the stakeholders, the scholars, the investors, all of us must know what is there to be able to engage it. And because for every 5 years, you will need to review it. So you cannot. So for where we are now, we are moving gradually. For instance, there has been some movement in all these directions, but we are still not near where we should be.
All right. So movement is really occurring, but it's moving at a very, very snailish pace, so to say. Is that it? Sometimes
not even snail. It may be one step forward, 2 steps backward sometimes. But at least we are moving, and I will say aggregating. When you aggregate it, we are still moving forward.
All right. A lot of times we tend to use the terms transportation and logistics loosely as Siamese twins, so to say. But realistically speaking, are there clear-cut differences between these two terms, Prof?
Yes, there are. Although one is embedded in the other. Logistics is bigger than transport. Logistics has components such as warehousing, procurement, and transportation.
Okay.
So transportation is an aspect. For example, if you do your procurement, you need to transform the goods to your warehouse. And when you finish your production, you need to transport it to the markets. And the consumers will need to transport it to the last mile. So transportation is a component of logistics. Logistics is far bigger than transportation.
Okay. All right. So now someone said for us to really come up with a viable transport system, there must be a policy that drives the framework for implementation. And I know you just mentioned that somehow, even though we've been trying to come up with a transport policy in Nigeria, we do not have one yet at a national level. And you did say even 15 years of your investment in that, and nothing seems to be yielding fruit. So why is that so? How come we do not have a transport policy in Nigeria?
And that is the painful part. Because it's like you are flying. Ask any pilot who is flying without a chart. He doesn't know where he's going. That's one of the biggest problems of our transportation. There is no policy in place, at least at the national level, to drive where we are going. We have been operating what we call disjointed incrementalism. In that is somebody just wake up and feel that, okay, I'm in this particular part of the country, let me do the road between here and Katsina and Daura, and if you go to Niger, another minister comes, I want to take you to this thing. So because there is no policy and we do not have that framework, in fact, it's the most painful part now, because any government that comes, there should be a policy that will guide its actions. And without that policy framework, all efforts, for example, permit me to digress to some of the issues that we are having now on transportation that is being politicized. The let me mention the coastal road.
Okay.
Coastal road is a wonderful concept. But look at what former Vice President Atiku said, that why didn't you start at Calabar? If you are a transport person and you want to build a road that will give you money, you will first of all start where you will have return on investment. How many vehicles will be traveling from Calabar to
Lagos?
Port Harcourt? Compare with what you have Dangote there, that is the biggest investment in this country today or globally in the world.
Right.
You have Nigeria's deep seaport, the biggest seaport in that axis. So where you have huge investment and 80% of imports to this country comes from Lagos. You don't want to compare Lagos to that when I heard it, I said, my God. But he just wants to play a little politics of that because the president is from Lagos. That's a far from it.
Right.
Sentimentally, he may be right that look, why can't we use it for? But when you are doing about 15 trillion investment, you want to make your money back, and I said this to you, transportation is a facilitator.
Right.
It facilitates your economy. So you must facilitate. You want that Lekki axis to become another Apapa Oshodi Greenlock axis.
Okay, so Prof,
now,
Prof, let me
so
stop you.
because of that, I will stop there. That we have been developing in a disjointed manner.
Right.
Look at, for me, there are things that we must do, and anybody that comes must build on it immediately.
And it's only the policy that can drive it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me stop there because
right, because of time. Yeah, that's very true. But Prof, I need you to just take us through the potentials that we have in this transportation. For so many years, we've been depending on oil as the mainstay of the Nigerian economy. Right now, even as we speak, we're saying, Nigeria is producing 1.3 million barrels per day, 1.2, and the income keeps dwindling. But can transportation replace oil, or can it even compete with oil as the mainstay of the Nigerian economy?
No, that's not its mission. That's not the objective of transportation. Transportation is not going to replace anything, but transportation facilitates everything. I said it just in a while. You may not see your doctor in the last 1 month, 2 months. You may not see your doctor for a year or two,
right,
and other things. But you need transportation on a daily basis. There's no body that transportation. So if that oil sector, for it to become its full self, the transportation, the pipeline must be well mapped out. The ships must be able to move. The tankers must be able to move. So the whole industry will be suboptimal. The whole economy cannot perform if the transportation that will facilitate it is not put in the optimal position to do so. So our oil will never get to 2 billion barrels per day until we facilitate our pipelines, facilitate our roads, facilitate our waters, make it secure. So transportation should not be seen to either replace or it is the facilitator. That is, if it's not taking care of first, all other things. For example, if you don't have good transportation network, you can't go to your office. You won't be in that office today.
Right.
You won't be in your church. You won't be in the school. You won't be in the market. You won't be anywhere. You won't be able to even take your wife that is pregnant to the hospital to go and deliver.
Right.
Transportation is the facilitator of everything. When people say government should provide enabling environment, the key enabling environment factor is transportation. Facilitate the farmers to go to the farm and come back. Facilitate the industry to collect its raw material and take to the market. Besides that, I think power is the next thing to it.
All right. Okay then.
So you facilitate transportation is a facilitator for every segment of the economy.
Right.
And then you can think that every other segment will perform optimally.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. If you're wondering who's speaking so eloquently with me this morning, Professor Samuel Odomi is a transport sector expert, so to say, former Dean, School of Transportation, Lagos State University, and he's still head of the Transport Management Operations Department of that particular university. We're going to take a short break right now. When we return, last year, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu set up the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy. We'll have a stake on what does he make of that ministry, what will a ministry of that nature bring to the table. Let's also reflect a bit on infrastructure for transportation in Nigeria. How would you describe it? These are many more we'll still reflect on, plus your own views too. You can send that in, and that will be on 08099120777, 08099120777, and 09153877127. A brief break, we'll be back.
The Nigerian Shippers Council is now better poised with responsive systems in place to help you and other shippers get seamless, stress-free transition for your clients' goods from point A to B. Today at the Nigerian Shippers Council, timeliness, orderliness, transparency and efficiency is all we care about. Put your complaint through to our helpline 0818-888-8895. Visit us at number 4 Ayodele Shoyode Lane, Apapa, Lagos. Or reach us on www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng. Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the port of your needs.
Nigerian Shippers Council, they to serve you well. No matter.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Maritime Today is the program which is powered by the Nigerian Shippers Council. And today we are dissecting strategies for effective logistics and transportation in Nigeria. Professor Samuel Odomi is taking us to the classroom this beautiful morning. We did tell you most of the areas that we're covering around Lagos still looking relatively good. The Third Milan Bridge, very good to go. Ikorodu Road as well from Ojota Interchange heading towards Maryland, looking lovely. Apapa Oshodi Expressway, very beautiful. And we can tell you Lagos Abeokuta is also looking pretty nice as well. All right, so I did tell you if you want to also sink your teeth into the conversation, you can feel free to do so. And that will be on 08099120777 and 09153877127. All right. Professor Odomi, in September last year, the president carved out the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy from the Transport Ministry. So what do you make of that move, by the way, Prof?
Well, there are two angles to it. In one way, I'm a bit sad. In the other way, it's a good move. It's a good trend. But we must put something in place immediately to avoid creating some other unexpected situations. And those of us in transport, the professionals, the experts, we are putting up a paper to advise government about it. It's an unintended consequence of that move. That move is okay. That's the trend in the whole world, to make sure that the marine economy, is able to contribute to the global economy. Not just it's a good trend that we want to promote the tourism, promote the mining in the sector, promote the fishing in the sector, promote the fishing in the sector, because it will have good eye to those aspects. So that is the good thing about it. But the downside, which we must do something, is not totally, for administrative reasons, it's a wonderful move.
Okay.
But for total governance issue in the transportation sector, there is a problem. There is a challenge.
And what's the problem?
The problem is that transportation thrives on two key words: coordination and integration. Now, when you have all the modes to be able to for your transportation to function very well, the left must know what the right is doing. You must there are 5 major modes: the land, the rail, the road, the air, the water, and pipeline. All of these must be together, and especially part of the Ministry of Works too. Now, what we have balkanized them. We were at the Transportation Summit conference last year.
Right.
All the MASA, the Shippers Council, all of them were there. In the past, the aviation was there. But this year in Abeokuta, when we had the conference, the MASA was no longer there. The water was no longer there.
The
but
council,
transportation by its nature must work together. That is, the water must know, because if you move on air, you must come back to land. If you move by rail, you must come back to land. If you move by water. So, what we now recommending, and I want to say this loud on this station first, because it will continue to reverberate in the system, that there must be a coordination committee, a standing coordination committee that will bring together all the modes: the aviation, the rail, the road, the pipeline, and the water, including some aspect of the Department of Works. Because about 50 to 70% of what Works is doing is constructing road. So can somebody construct road, and that is Ministry of Works, and not having any handshake with the Ministry of Transportation that is going to manage the roads? So when you have this modes scattered without integration, we will just be moving in that direction like a drunken blind person that cannot see and is drunken.
All right.
So now, what we mean, the solution is what I'm going to bring to the table, and we are going to continue to advocate. There must be a strong handshake, a permanent for administrative convenience. You can have aviation being run differently. You can have rail being run differently. You can have water being run differently. You can have, but there must be a unit where all of them must meet and coordinate, so that they must know what each other is doing. But another one I must mention is that of all these modes, road carries 90% of our mobility, and unfortunately, road has nobody in charge.
Which is quite unfortunate. Which is quite unfortunate.
NRA, aviation has its SCAA and FAAN, water has NIMASA and MEWA, and Shippers Council, and all others have their own, and the PPMC is running the NMDC unit is running the pipeline. But there is no agency in charge of roads that is coordinating more than that is carrying 90% of our mobility. To me, those are the problems that is on the blind side of the governance people.
Which is quite unfortunate. All right, let me just come in at this point, Prof. Let's talk a bit about the infrastructure for transportation in Nigeria as it stands today. So how would you describe it? Are we really having our top game in terms of the infrastructure for transportation?
Well, we are doing jack here and there. Like for me, look at what we are doing now. When the colonialists were here, our economy was functioning perfectly because they did 2 major arteries, Sokoto to Lagos and Maiduguri to Port Harcourt, and they do 2 rails too. That was functioning perfectly. That is the artery, that is the spinal cord of Nigerian transportation grid network. But after some years, all these roads became dilapidated. You cannot see, look at this, we started Ibadan to Lagos, Lagos to Ibadan. We stopped there. We started back at Abuja. Then we left Ogbomoso and Oyo. We joined Ogbomoso, Ilorin. We finished that. Then Ilorin to Jeba. Then we now went to Abuja. We are going to Karanamoda or whatever. The same thing if you are coming from Makurdi. You are coming from Abuja, you get to Makurdi, very good women line. from according to Parakot, there's no thoroughfare. Then the rail from Parakot to this, the same thing, the rail from Ibadan from Lagos to Ibadan. Transportation does not perform optimally when you are doing it in a scattered, disjointed manner like that. We really have to get all, for example, now we are now starting coastal line, which is okay. Although my own suggestion on that coastline is that rather than do your 10 lanes,
Right.
first of all, do 5 lanes.
Okay.
And finish it within the 4 years of Tinubu administration. Rather than do 10 lanes and wait for 8 years, there are so many things that could go wrong. That is why we spent almost 15 to 20 years from Marina to Okoko.
All right, I have a message here for you.
We do 5 lanes.
Yeah, Prof, quickly, let me take this one. This one says, good morning, Traffic Radio. I'm so happy listening to Professor Odeomi. He's one of the great scholarly minds I respect so much in this country. But why is it that government never appoints professionals like this to head transport ministries and departments in the country? This is just my own little thoughts. Joshua is sending this one in from Ogba. All right, so Prof, Joshua seems to be applauding your thoughts this morning. But you are saying that for government to really get it right in this sector, some of those roads they are really doing right now, they can just spend some less in terms of the design and probably will get it better.
And the approach, let me give an illustration between Egbeda and Yanoba. The first government that did that road, Jakonde, did only the first lane. And it was Tinubu, the Governor Tinubu of Fashola that did the second lane because the traffic density was not so much. So from Lagos to Parakot, if you have 4 lanes, that is expressway, 2 on this side, 2 on this side, it will accommodate whatever density we have now for the next 10 years.
Okay, let's move on now and round off things.
After which we cannot do the other. But if you do just halfway, we will not benefit maximally.
Right.
And then 2, Omayi is now thinking of doing Lagos-Abuja Express. Have you finished Ogbomoso, Oyo, and Parakot to Enugu?
Right.
Do this one. It is when you complete a transportation system. That is why you can maximally benefit. When you are doing transportation system, rail, we won't benefit.
All right. Victoria is sending a message in here. It says, good morning, Traffic Radio. It's nice listening to Professor Odeomi on the program. He's someone that I can listen to over and over again. But Prof, we have to go because of time constraints. In 30 seconds, what's your parting thoughts to government as relates to Nigeria getting it right in transportation?
Well, I have 2 that I would say they should have a take whoever is listening. The first is that there must be a strong handshake between all the modes of transportation if we are going to benefit. The air, the rail, the road, the water, the pipeline, and the Ministry of Works that is constructing the roads.
Right.
Then there must be a road authority. So that local government are cashing out, all the sort of association are cashing out on the road, making their trillions and billions, because there is nobody in charge of the road.
We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that for now, Prof. Thank you so much for connecting with us on the program this morning. All right.
Thank you very much.
All right, Professor Samuel Odeomi, of course, former Dean, School of Transportation, Lagos State University. He's been taking us on an excursion on how we can dissect, and have effective transportation and logistics in Nigeria. The program has been produced by Mike James. Maximum thanks to Rebecca Adamu, who's Assistant Director of Public Relations for the Nigerian Shippers Council, and to the Executive Secretary himself. You can connect with the Shippers Council on all their platforms at NG Shippers. My name is Victor Oteri. Have a great day. Bye.